Hi, this is Miranda from My Scrappy Life and welcome back to the channel. This is a process video for two things. The next big thing where we use large photos, in my case, a bunch of photos on one layout. And then it is off the board because it is in the month of July. And so I am using this layout that I found, which is Charmaine, I think. It's Scraplift Sunday from Paper Issues. It was March 2026. And I'll link it down below, and then I'll link my Pinterest board and all of the fun stuff. So as you can tell right there, I am going to be using the Simple Stories Sweet Summertime collection that I got in the design team kit for the ScrapRoom. And I'm going to do this a little bit differently. I am going to kind of go back to a little bit of my roots. And I've done one layout like this before, but I'm going to use my pattern paper in the background that is kind of crooked and use my, in this case, the cream color for my 12 by 12 piece per se. So I started out with cutting 6 by 6 papers outside or like off camera and in 4 different colors. And then I cut a circle that was 11.5 inches in diameter, right? Well, this makes it easy when you use 4 papers, it becomes this pie section. Well, I should have made it go down to 5 inches. So what the diameter is going to be is, instead of it being a whole 5 inch or like the whole piece, it's 5 inches is what I made the circle to come down to. I know that 5 inches is kind of an oddball, which would be like 10. I should have went down to the circle full size, or the circumference is 10 versus doing 5. But, or doing like 11.5 would be almost, it would be like almost 6 for that. So anyway, that's how I did that. I did that on my Cricut, and then you saw me cut the pieces down. And then here I am. Sorry for my head, but I had to make sure that these were correct. So instead of me doing the doodly lines, I got out my All and Create TP. It's the 1337. It's sewn sparks, and using one of those for that. So as you can tell there, I gave you a little bit of a synopsis of what that looks like. And now I did do the distressing off camera, and then I did take my black Sharpie, my fine liner, and outline those just so that they do kind of stand off the page. And I mark this so that I can make this straight. I am very particular about the way I wanted these to look, and I wanted these to have exactly the same. So you're going to see my head in this a little bit, but that's because I'm trying to make sure that this looks exactly the way I want it to. I did put, sorry for my head, like I said, there's my head. Welcome to having gray hair and working through premenopause and gray hairness. I'm trying super hard to like not, I don't like how you have to transition from dyeing your hair to gray, because I just don't like, it looks like I need to go get it done, but I'm working it. I'm working it. I'm 44 and I'm embracing. But I really don't want to embrace, but I'm embracing. So what my next, like my big thing that I'm going to be using for like my element piece, or like having big photos bigger than 4.5 by 6, is this monstrosity photo that I have. So these photos, there's 3 of them in there that I did 2.5 by 3. And I don't have a lot of papers. That little bit that you see me doing in that corner right there, that's all I got left outside of these 2 pieces. I killed this with 2. This is why the design team layouts, I always say for the scrap room, for somebody that is a heavy embellisher along with heavy paper embellisher, I get 2 layouts. That's it. So that paper that you saw me take off the camera or off the screen, that's all I got, y'all. That is it. So in the grand scheme of things, I'm just being honest. I know that for the ladies that are not a heavy paper person and a heavy embellisher person, you can definitely get two-page spreads out of these kits and get layouts done with them. I love these kits. This is not a design team kit layout, but I love everything about them. That is why I have been a subscriber and now part of their design team for a year. But also, I have been a subscriber for 5-6 years now. And I won't go back. Like, I won't switch to any other ones. I won't. I do some other kits that you will see along the way on my page, on my channel. But if I want to say a subscriber, this is it. So I am now going through the embellishment part. So like I said, my big element piece is there. So really, in retrospect, I got 4 photos. And y'all know I do not do that many on a page. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So there you see it. There's 4 on here. Mark it on the calendar, because a lot of times I don't do that many. But this is Kaylin's soccer season. So I have 2 layouts that are going to be one of the hardest part of Kaylin's middle school career. It started in 6th grade. She had a rough time in 6th. It was just her rough year. Well, so we thought. It got a lot rougher in March and April of this year. These particular photos are the last set of photos that are part of this team out at Fort Gordon. We had to make a change. The coaches were not coaching and help coach the way they should have been coached. This coach we've had in the past and have had issues, and then we got him again and had more issues, and it's because they didn't want to deal with her ADHD. I just did circles around those. Those were part of that, that paper that you see there where it says live today. There's circles on there and I cut them out. So that's kind of where I'm going with that. Kind of back to this. This is the human respect that people don't talk about on social media, but I do, because you need to know that sometimes it's not your children. I will say this. I have always been an advocate for coaches. I've always been an advocate for teachers, because I'm like, what did my student do? What did my child do? And what do I need to fix at home? Because you ain't going to be, you're not going to be the one to be disrupting that classroom or disrupting this team. In this case, it was the coach. The coach didn't want to coach and understand how ADHD works for girls. Girls' ADHD is very, very hormonal, very, very moody, and it's very, very different. Boys, 95% of the time are hyper diapers. I will admit, being in the education field, doing all of it, I know what I'm talking about. I've got 2 I got 3. My son is ADHD gifted. My daughter is ADHD with a neural processing disorder that has to work her behind off for grades, but she's an AB student. My son was an A student. Didn't have to work a day in his life. It is what it is. My husband also has ADHD. That's where the ADHD comes from. And ADHD and girls are different. A lot of times they're space cadets. A lot of times they're all over the place. This is not an advocate for me talking about this, but I want to give you context, because the next layout that I am doing is going to give you even more of a context to why these photos are very important, and we have to document. We're documenting them. And yes, for the ones that are like, why are you giving all of Kaylin's personal life out there? I got authorization from her, whether she liked it or not. However, I did ask her that if it's okay to say the story, and she's like, yes, other girls need to know how to handle this. Other girls need to understand that they are not alone. We're not alone in this. We do not talk about this more often than when we should have. And this coach gave her a mental breakdown. And I will explain the mental breakdown, hint, hint, in the next layout that will be going up on my channel. It'll actually go up on Monday. So this is the 9th, the one that will go to this for this particular one will be on the 13th, so Monday. So there it is, and I'll give you more of it. Sequence is from Spiegel Mom Scraps. Hint, hint. You need to all come back. Spiegel Mom Scraps, Jody, you need to come back over there. I also brought in my Distress Spritz. It's the antique linen, and the still shots are coming up. I absolutely love this layout. Again, the context, it will make more sense with both of them, but please know, girls and women, we are not alone, and we need to be in this together, and that's all I'm going to say. I hope that you guys all have a wonderful day. Stay true to yourself, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.
1 + 1 is always meant to, but I feel this could be different if I was with you. If I was with you. 1 + 1 is always meant to, but I feel this could be different if I was with you. If I was with you.